Nobody tells you that you are already compounding. Right now. Tonight. Whether you opened a brokerage account or not. The question is, what are you compounding? Because here is the thing nobody puts in the personal finance videos. Compounding does not care about your intentions. It does not care that you meant to start saving last January. It does not care that you are smart, that you work hard, that you deserve better. Compounding is completely, ruthlessly neutral. It will work for you with the same mechanical precision that it works against you. And for most people who are broke at 45 even though they earned decent money their whole lives, it has been working against them for decades. Quietly, invisibly, the way a crack in a dam works. I want to show you exactly how that happens, and I need to warn you. By the end of this, you're going to look at a very ordinary Tuesday in your life very differently. But first, I need to tell you about Marcus. Marcus is 28. He is an engineer at a mid-sized tech firm in Austin, Texas. He makes $94,000 a year. He is not irresponsible. He does not gamble. He does not buy luxury cars he cannot afford. He is, by any reasonable measure, a normal, functional adult with a decent income. And he is quietly building a dynasty of poverty that will outlast him. He does not know this. That is the part that should scare you. Here is what Marcus does. Every Friday, he is tired. The week has been long, the meeting's pointless, and his nervous system is fried by 6 p.m. So he orders food, $34 with delivery and tip. He streams something on 2 platforms he barely uses. He buys a course on the weekend he does not finish. He upgrades his phone 14 months into a 24-month cycle because the new one just feels better in the hand. None of these things are dramatic. None of them feel like decisions at all. They feel like Tuesday. They feel like relief. And that is precisely the mechanism. James Clear, in Atomic Habits, makes a point that most people read and immediately forget. He says a 1% decline is just as subject to compounding as a 1% gain. The math is identical. The direction is the opposite. What feels like a flat line, same paycheck, same apartment, same weekend routine, is actually a slope. You are either tilting toward wealth or tilting away from it. There is no standing still. Marcus is tilting. He just cannot feel it yet. Here is what his invisible numbers actually look like. He spends approximately $940 a month on frictionless, forgettable consumption. That is $11,280 a year. Over 10 years, at even a modest 8% return if invested, that is $163,000 that does not exist in his life. But that is not the dark side. The dark side is what that money would have become in his 50s and 60s. We are talking about the difference between a man who retires at 62 with choices and a man who retires at 72 with fear. The money is not the real problem, though. The money is just the symptom. The actual compounding is happening in his mind. This is what nobody talks about. Every time Marcus makes a low-effort choice, order food instead of cook, scroll instead of read, buy instead of build, he is reinforcing a neural pathway. He is casting a vote, as Clear would say, for a specific kind of person. And the brain, that relentlessly efficient biological machine, gets better at exactly what you repeat. The habit of avoiding discomfort compounds. The preference for the instant reward over the delayed one compounds. The tolerance for mediocrity compounds. By 35, Marcus will not struggle to save money because of math. He will struggle because resisting the dopamine loop will feel physically, genuinely hard in a way it did not at 25. The habit has been compounding for a decade. It has roots now. It has infrastructure. This is how poverty becomes generational, not through lack of money, through the compounding of the behaviors that produce the lack of money. There is a study out of Harvard, the Grant Study, the longest-running study of adult development in history, that tracked men for over 80 years and tried to understand what determined whether their lives went up or went down. The single most predictive factor in long-term well-being was not income at age 30. It was not education. It was the quality of their relationships and the maturity of their coping mechanisms. The men who ran toward difficulty, who chose the harder path, who processed stress instead of consuming it away, built lives that kept getting better with time. The men who avoided, numbed, and deferred built lives that quietly caved in. Compounding is not a stock market concept, it is a life concept. Now here is the turn I promised you. because I do not want you to walk away from this feeling like you need to punish yourself into wealth. That is not what this is. That whole framework, discipline yourself into success, grind until it stops hurting, shame your way to a savings account, that is itself a bad mental model that compounds into burnout, not wealth. The actual insight is subtler and it is more hopeful. Marcus does not need to become a different person. He needs to understand that the person he is right now is already compounding something. The only choice available to him, the only choice available to you, is what to compound. The direction, not the mechanism. The mechanism is already running. Every dollar you automate into a Roth IRA before you can touch it, that is compounding. Every book you finish instead of a fourth episode, that is compounding. Every time you sit with discomfort for 10 minutes instead of reaching for your phone, that is a neural pathway getting stronger. That is the architecture of a future self who finds it easier to do the right thing, not harder. Discipline compounds into character. Character compounds into outcomes. Outcomes compound into a life. Think about what that means for Marcus at 45 if he starts now. Not perfectly, not dramatically, just directionally. If he redirects $400 a month, not even half of what he currently bleeds, into a low-cost index fund and finishes one book a month and builds one genuinely hard skill over the next 2 years, by 45 he is a different man. Not because of any single decision, but because of 17 years of small decisions, compounding. He is the man who has options. Who can weather a layoff? Who can take a risk on something he actually believes in? Who is not lying awake at 2 a.m. doing math that does not work out? That man exists as a possibility right now, tonight, in the same body that is reading this. The dark side of compounding is real. The habits that feel like nothing, the invisible drains, the small surrenders, the tiny defaults toward ease, they are not nothing. They are the blueprints of who you will be in 20 years. They are being laid right now, silently, the way compound interest works in a spreadsheet while you sleep. You do not feel it. You will not feel it for years. And then one day you will wake up and the math will be undeniable, and it will feel sudden, and it will not have been sudden at all. But so is the other side. The compounding that works for you. The decisions that feel too small to matter, that are too consistent to fail. You already know which one you have been building. Be honest with yourself for just 1 second. The question is which one you are going to build from today.